And once again, we are live on the twitch.tv/the Xisuma, where I bumped into Impulse. Wait, that makes no sense. Here on the Empire server, I bumped into Impulse before starting the stream. I came on here like, what am I going to do? What's my plan? Impulse says hello, like, hey, what you up to? And then we come up with this plan of like, right, we're going to do this little area down the front here and make it all for the villagers. How cool is that? So Impulse is also streaming and just doing stuff right next door. So it'll be super interesting to see where this goes. I have had zero time to think about a block palette. So I want to see... Ooh. I want to see 2 blocks where it's like, we can do something with this. Also, that's grey wool. Could use wool somewhere. So we're gonna like wander around aimlessly for a minute here. Bananas in chat from Spooky Doki, Lucaro, Bear, Winnie T Ford, Diddley Dyson, thank you for bananas, and Talbar. Appreciate it. Also, to everyone who's just started to tune in and to all the peeps watching on the second channel, please do take the time to go to my website, xisumavoid.com, and sign up for my mailing list, because I set that thing up in case, you know, YouTube or some other social media thing goes under, right? I'm thinking, you know, you want to be in multiple places. You want a way for people to stay in touch with what you're doing in case things go south, right? Well, things might be going south on Twitter. You know, there's sort of rumors going around that it I say rumors, you know, there's news and then there's highly opinionated news, and from what I'm hearing, you can't actually open that one, can you? From what I'm hearing, it might be that Twitter becomes so understaffed that they can't keep the servers up. So that doesn't mean the death of Twitter, but dang, that's not good, right? And that's a great reason to be in multiple... That's a dripstone. Multiple platforms, you know. So, yeah, great reason to sign up for my mailing list. Now, I think my long-term plan is going to be to actually get more established on other social media platforms, purely with the purpose of them just being feeds, like my Twitter is. Twitter is my feed. You know, you can go there to find out the stuff that I've been up to, that I want to communicate to all of you with. And I don't really do that anywhere else. And so what I want to try and do is find a way to do it simultaneously on a bunch of different networks. Then you get to just use the one that works for you, right? So that's kind of my thing going forward. But for the meantime, the mailing list would be a great way for you to just sort of stay in touch on that front. Let's have a look in these boxes again. I've got like one block in mind, which is the bricks. They're easy to get, but I haven't sussed out what the other block I want to use is yet. Just picturing in my head like how these things kind of group together. Also, what happened to our little water pit? I don't know. Hey, Solid Knight, here subscribing. Thank you so much for your subscription. And Studio528, thank you for signing up on Patreon. We had a new Patreon sign up as well. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Xisuma, I've been questioning how do I say your name, says Ghostly. You can say it however you like, my friend. However you like. Oh, I just spotted something that would be good with it, except it means I gotta go like somewhere else to get some. Like the strip mangrove wood would look great. I know where there is... I found a biome that's been torn into. And I've been warned this biome might be a part of someone's base. I really don't think it is, because it felt like it was in a different direction, but I could be mistaken. I was about to kill that.
Did you send a zombie through here with a leash for some reason?
No, I didn't. I was about to kill it, and then I was like, oh, Joe's up to something. Thank goodness I didn't strike.
No. I came through the portal, and I saw this guy, and I'm like, oh, I should kill this guy. And they're like, unless that's Xisuma's pet.
Nah, it's not my pet. I'd
okay,
say
it has
axe
a
the guy.
leash, so... Yeah, okay.
Go for it.
Thanks, X.
See ya. Now, whose is this? Because Cogs... I don't think this is it. This is like the closest sort of proximity to this base. Wiltsy's asking if this is my normal stream time. This is a little earlier than usual, but generally this sort of time of evening would be when I will be around the time. I haven't been to this place yet. Oh, it's really nice. It's really, really nice. Playing on this server has just... It's... Oh wait, this is False's base. Wow, okay, cool. It's made me want to play Minecraft differently. It's made me want to just, like, think purely about building in a world. So maybe when I next do a modded thing, I'll play that way. Who knows? Maybe when we go back to Hermitcraft, which may or may not ever happen because the Rift is, you know, defunct. Anyways, this over here is just so far away from the mangrove swamp that I found. The one that I found we would be able to see sort of just over there behind Cogsmead. In fact, Cogsmead might have been a shortcut. So I'm pretty sure where we're going is completely fine to get materials. I also need to get mud. I was considering using mud. Oh my goodness me, that's terrible. And I don't have a bow. Okay, right, we've got to do this real pro style here. Like, I've got to break that line of sight. It spreads everywhere, it does. It spreads everywhere. Where's the catalyst even? I don't know. Right, as long as I've got an empty shulker box, I'm fairly... Yeah, we can just head straight out there. We'll be good. Maybe get a bit more food before we go. Thanks for the GGs in chat. Appreciate it. Xisuma left Hermitcraft, says Enofix. I would never leave Hermitcraft, would I? Although technically I am somewhere else. Okay, I could do with some pearls on me. Wait, what? You are resistant and powerful. I am. Is it resistant or resilient? Resilient. I am resilient and powerful. Not here. It is literally a not here sphere. Tossable teleporters, dimension. This is amazing. Throwable movers, escape globes. I love this. Laugh, look, lob. Time to go. Oh, I want to read the other ones. Ender chest ingredient number 1. Very true. Food. I'm totally distracted by ender pearls. Food. Just get some food together. Do we even have like a chest for food, or do I have anything in here? No. Okay, over here we go. Hi there, you talked about impulse and villagers. In new Minecraft versions they have a water source plus minecart. There's a couple of void videos about void training. There's a method to disable their pathfinding. There you go, there's some food. Backup food. Yeah, you know, I don't know anything about that. And I'm streaming, so I'm not going to go watch a bunch of videos, but good to know. Kel Van Deel, thank you for 13 months. Mafia Kid, thank you for 11. And Bell Stephen, thank you for 13. Mafia Kid says 11 is an auspicious number in Indian culture. May this 11th month bring auspiciousness to you. Thank you, my dude. Thank you. Appreciate it. I don't have like any suspicions, like, or numbers or things like that. Like, it's all... Oh, do you know what? I've left my mic on. It's all... doesn't mean anything to me. I don't believe in cosmic coincidences. And, I just don't think like that. I think it's way more interesting to think a bit more scientifically about the world, I guess. So yeah, this biome is absolutely, like, not next to someone's base. And, I've seen multiple people have already been here and like torn parts of, like, look, you can kind of tell there's bits missing everywhere. So yeah, it's also a great place to get mud, and we need a lot of mud. So we'll be over here collecting supplies for the build that we're going to do. Hopefully I can get a lot of those logs. That's the main thing, really. Ooh, you also get some of that rooted mud dirt stuff too. This way. Oh, the sound it makes. Like machine gun fire or something. Does almost sound a little bit like a machine gun rattle of some sort. What's the plan today, says Peaches MLG? We're working on the villager area that Impulse is. We're just starting off with some resource gathering. The main thing that I really need, though, is not the mud, so I might just focus on getting the logs, come back for the mud another time, you know? I can drop some of this stuff off. But everyone's really kicking into gear at the moment. Like, we are ramping up the build that we're doing together, so lots of resources need collecting. Kikuani is here for 3 months. 3 months time really flies. Oh, sure it does. It sure does. Nightshade Owl Live is here for 2 months, saying, "Hi X, can't stay. Looking forward to catching the VOD later. Sounds like you're on a good waffle." I might have a waffle or two in me. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens today. I am known for a good old waffle. But yeah, I don't know. The things that I've had on my mind lately, they sort of suit doing something mindless like this, to have a little bit of a waffle, but I haven't really formulated much of what I want to say. But I did watch a video that kind of sort of ties into some of the stuff that I've been thinking. The latest Vsauce video just absolutely... I've watched that video, like, that was the most engrossing YouTube video I've watched in some time. Just perfectly done. And totally aligned with my interests as of late, which is generally just like, I don't know, thinking about topics and how much like human perception influences them, and like how many questions there are inside of just simple assumptions sometimes, right? So like his video is about the selfie and the history of the selfie, and it can just go in so many directions and pose so many interesting things. One of them that I really liked was the reverse selfie, which sounds like, you know, something really odd and a bit of a joke, but he found a picture that you could describe as a reverse selfie. So a selfie's like a picture of you, and a reverse selfie is like a picture of everyone else, right? So how do you get a picture of everyone else? Well, it's taken by one of the guys who was in the shuttlecraft surrounding the moon when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were on the moon, and the picture has them in their little craft. It has Earth in the background, and the other guy, the third guy who no one can remember, including me, who just, you know, heard their name, Michael Collins, thank you, another JT, is taking a picture, and the only person alive, and also most notably, as they said, as far as we know, maybe someone has died by being hurled into space in times that we do not know about from the past. Maybe that's something, right? But yeah, like this image has everyone who's living and dead on planet Earth, the other two people not part of that population, just floating above the moon, and he's the only one not in the picture. Like it is the most most close thing you could possibly have to a reverse selfie. It's literally everyone else ever, and you're not in the picture. I just thought it was such an incredible like demonstration of so many things about space and time and history and perception. You know, you can take it a little tongue on cheek, but it's deep at the same time. It gets you really thinking about certain metrics and things. There was another picture in there that really I found amazing too. Yeah, he was talking about how like you have, as a human, you have multiple deaths, like the death of your body, you cease to exist. Then the death of your name, where someone may say your name for the last time ever. Like your name will be said at your funeral, right? But how many more times after that? And then, like, the last time you will ever be seen. With photography, people can see your face, who you are, for many years after your death. But there might be a point in time where, like, someone looking at a photo of you is the last time you ever get seen. And that is just deeply fascinating. And I'm starting to remember now what it tied in with, right? It tied in with this show that I watched an episode of, Ancient Apocalypse on Netflix. And it's got Graham Hancock, who's, I don't think he is an archaeologist, but a lot of archaeologists don't like his theories. However, some evidence is coming to light that supports some of his theories. FM Hyde, thank you for the pride. Skylar McDoe, thank you for 21 months, saying yes, it does sound like a machine gun. It does, doesn't it? It does, doesn't it? Another JT, we have already done as you have suggested. That is what I did a moment ago. This isn't that base. That base is like quite a ways in a different direction. Anyway, like I've said, like this is clearly like a place other people have come to and chopped down stuff for resources, so we should be good here. Like, look at it. The area's, well, this was me, I think, this bit. The area's already been decimated. Do you think Netflix is getting worse? I think a question like that is just like, what do you mean worse? What does that mean? Because they still have like a large body of content on there that you can watch and enjoy. I don't know, like, it's all entertainment, so, you know, I'll tune in and watch things on there, and I haven't felt like, oh, I want to cancel my Netflix subscription or anything like that. So for me, I'm not even thinking about it in those sorts of terms. It's just a place where there's some content, right? Hancock is a hack, says Cap'n Daddy. Well, I would certainly like to listen to him in an environment with people who are critiqued, you know, critics of him, right? You need to hear two sides of a story always. But what he's proposing in what I've seen so far of this show... Oh, interesting. Another JT says, I tried watching Ancient Apocalypse and I couldn't get through an episode. Why is that? Like, I will hear someone like him out because a lot of what he's saying seems pretty sound. He does constantly critique the archaeology community, and I take that with a pinch of salt. I'm like, look, anyone can make up a story about how a community is like got these motives to be against you or whatever. But he says some very sound things at points in time. One of them being like about how like ancient stories of like floods or whatever that are like found in the Bible and many other religious books. He makes this argument that they are like collective memories. Now it's kind of easy to think like, well, it's just a story, right? But if you think about it in terms of technology and like the way we can capture and preserve information today, how we could do it, you know, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, the further back in time you go, you do sort of need more and more trust and culture to preserve these ideas. And so it you know, at some point in time, maybe these handed down stories were our best ways of preserving history, right? And they can be distorted over time and they can be inaccurate, sure, but like maybe that's the best thing that we had at that time. So he makes this argument that if you have like lots of these stories of a great flood, surely that means something, right? And there's this new evidence that's come to light because they've been doing some drilling, I believe, in the Antarctic, and they've actually now found evidence of floods that took place at a period in time that would align with some of these ancient old fables of great floods. And he makes some points about there's large parts of the planet that we haven't, you know, dug up and looked for signs of civilization, and you've had places like this site in Turkey that, you know, they used to say, oh, the first civilization's around this area, then they find some new evidence they've dug up, and now they have to push the date back, and he's suggesting it can go back further, and it's like a case of like, when you think about it, archaeology, like, we've only dug so far into the ground, right? And maybe there's many, like, think of it in terms of globally and percentages. Like, how much of the ground have we uncovered and looked for things down below? Another JT says, well, sure, floods happen all the time. No, not a flood like a globally changing cataclysmic flood, right? And they found evidence of this. You know, not just a flood, but like a massive one, and they correlated it to the time around the site. But again, like, I don't know the ins and outs of archaeology and how scientific consensus is figured out around that, and again, I take everything with a pinch of salt, and there are some sort of grains of truth, if you like, in there, but it's, you know, like, the point that all the archaeological digs and stuff that we've done so far can only, like, uncover a small sliver of the total amount of places that you could go and dig and learn things. It sounds really quite plausible. Maybe there's a reason it's not, but It seems very, very logical that we could go dig in places we haven't done so before and discover new things. Like the Amazon rainforest is a place where not a lot of digging has taken place, but with the technology of LiDAR, like a new technology comes along, allows us to learn things about it. We're now learning that there's all these cities and structures underneath the floor of the Amazon. So once where they said, no, nothing here, that never happened, something new comes along, you know, and so it kind of sounds like there's a lot of assertion of authority where there's actually like a way bigger grey area out there as to when stuff happened in the past. But as I said, like I've only heard like this guy talk from his own narrative, and there's definitely things that he says, like how he critiques like a narrative in the in the archaeology community that are like against him. You know, I take that with a pinch of salt. Really need to get like voices together, right? Like from different sides to have a proper discussion about this stuff. Otherwise, you're just hearing one side of the coin. I think of it this way: while earth-shattering new theories that blow away established science like archaeology is possible, it's very unlikely, says another JT. Yeah, it's very unlikely until it happens, because the history of science is literally that, though, right? Like every so often, it all gets shattered. You know, when Newton came along, all the existing science got shattered, and then when Einstein came along, he built on top of that. You know, there's a new way of looking at things. It obviously didn't like massively discount everything Newton that had discovered, but that's generally what happens, right? You know, new information gives us a different understanding of things. This is Cogsmead, right? And then this is the jungle biome that leads up to Hermitopia. I think, if I'm in the right place. We're about... Yeah, wow, I did not know it was that close to Cogsmead. There you go, we learned something. The biggest issue of people like Graham who promote fantastical ideas about lost civilizations is that those ideas are deeply correlated to ethnocentrism and white supremacy. I got no hint of that whatsoever. I really don't know much about that. That could be a whole other thing. I mean, the idea, like, it doesn't seem so far-fetched, because all you have to do is step back in time and realize, when you look at the trajectory of things, it's like as we discover more and more, we keep having to reassess things. Like the site in Turkey set back our understanding of when, you know, civilization first. Well, I'm losing the right words here, but you know, like new evidence set the original ideas back, set them back in time. Captain Dandy says new information does give us new perceptions, but that shouldn't discount current understandings. In the case of like saying this is when civilizations first emerged, like these were the first cities or whatever, however they define it, like it's like when new evidence comes to light, it changes that date, which is one of the things that he argues for. I don't agree with everything that he argues for, just there certainly seems to be some interesting points. And I watched an episode of that show, and I found it enjoyable. I found it interesting. As I've said, like you do need like an opposing voice there at the same time, because content can be like heavily narrativized, so you're like following along all the things he's saying, and you know, one thing leads to another, and someone like me isn't entirely sure like if everything is accurate. Like there might be a point where someone else would go, no, that's not quite how that thing works, let me explain. So you know, I watch it with a pinch of salt, but certainly like tons of interesting points I thought were being raised about it. Is that actually supposed to go one block higher? I think it is. Or is it? No, it's not. That's actually it. So I reckon some red around here, maybe something brown there, like some dark oak, would look pretty cool. Zodish says it's an Ancient Aliens type show and logic. Maybe. I'll tell you what, I'll try and find, I'll take the time to try and find some people maybe talking over what he expresses and find a counter narrative and think about it a little bit more, right? As someone who does history of science on a professional level, I have to say I enjoy these discussions, and I could say so much more on these topics, says Balm. Feel free to join in. Like, if you have anything to say, like, because, you know, I'm not picking on your message here, it's an Ancient Aliens type show and logic, like, behind everyone's assertion of something or another, like what's just been said there, or what I've just said, there is, you know, differing amounts of knowledge. I always try and talk about these things of like, hey, this is exactly right here what I watched, this is the boundary of my knowledge, this is like, I could be completely wrong about this thing. I think that's the responsible way to talk about stuff, because everyone should be free to talk about stuff. But when you read just a message in a chat, right, like, what is the authority behind that? Like, some people can speak really eloquently and sound like they know exactly what they're talking about, but that doesn't make it so, right? Like, so in the context of like this chat right here, it's like I can't actually verify. So another JT says, maybe I'll give Ancient Apocalypse another chance, but my initial impression wasn't great. I've only watched the first episode so far. I'd listened to a podcast, so I know like quite a lot more about where the show will go and stuff. And the first episode revolved around a site where what they were discovering was really like questioning some dates that have been put down in the past about when and where stuff happened. And you kind of, you know, you get led along a narrative, this thing, that thing, it all links together nicely. This is why you need that counter narrative for someone to stop and go, hang on, put the brakes on, what you just said right there, it's maybe not quite true. But to me, it seems sort of fairly logical to a point, is what I'll say. So, let's see. I think what I'll do is I'll keep this, excuse me, nice uniform bit that we got going on here. Goopy says, true, if we never heard different viewpoints, we'd all still believe in geocentralism. I don't know what geocentrism is, and that's the second time I've heard it today. There's always more you can learn and know about, right? Anyway, that has sort of been like rumbling through my head a lot lately, and like how if you think in terms of like ignorance, it's really interesting to think about how much we assert knowledge into what's around us. And it's like a totally logical thing to do because we need to survive in the environment we're in. We don't survive by, you know, running around and panicking, right? So as you come out of the hunter-gatherer type system, if you want to call it that, you know, then, and we start to learn more about bigger concepts that are out there in the world, you, oh, interesting, magma blocks. You know, you extend that need to fully understand and know in your environment to that, potentially. Like, a lot of people don't go around thinking, I'm dumb, right? Like, what do I know? That's not really like a default mode of thought. I feel like I need some of this stone just so we can fill in some spaces here. I binged the whole series. As a guy getting geography degree, he really makes a person question history. His critical thinking, although can be perceived as offensive, is necessary because our history is based on opinion and needs to be challenged, says Bam Bam. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Like, there should always be room for something to be challenged, right? Because you hope that the truth prevails. Ah! Like, one of the points that he makes out. So, like, let's say, oh, no. We know when, you know, when the first civilizations were. We don't have video evidence of that. We don't have pictures. We have theories based on things that we've discovered. And have we discovered everything there is to know? Potentially not. And one of the things he made a point about was the Sahara Desert, right? Once upon a time, the theory is it used to be an oasis. That's not his theory. That's the theory of people that might, you know, be against him or whatever. And he makes this point like, we've never gone there and digged, we've never looked. If this was an oasis at one point in time, people could have lived there. And then, yeah, you know, until we dig there, we won't really know. Geocentrism is the theory that the Earth was the center of the universe. Ah, got ya, okay, yeah. Yeah, again, you go back in time, establish beliefs, that was a strongly resisted one. Whenever you hear that story, you tend to hear that, right? Like, the church and many institutions resisted it. Some people even got killed over it, I think. And then eventually we managed to turn it over and come to a different way of looking at things. Emilia Nort says, I like the saying, history is written by the winners, so it could be easily changed to suit narratives by anyone with authority. I like that quote too, but I think it's a bit more eloquent to say that history is written by someone, and, you know, their account could not be faithul, or could just be haphazardly ignorant. Like, there's many different ways history can be written. And yes, victors can write history in their favor, right? But it's good, I think, to take that and think about it a little more deeply, and just realize that all history is sort of told by someone, and that could mean many different things. And with some history, you know, the accounts are told by multiple people, and you might think something's like commonly agreed upon, and find out that there's other people that actually don't see it that way. Right, the roof, I think it makes sense just to make out the same material. It's kind of not a half bad backdrop, the bricks, for what Impulse is doing. That's what I did my graduating thesis on, the didactism of authors. Everyone always has an agenda no matter what, says Rad Sadki. Yeah, I feel like agenda's a strong word though, right? Like, sometimes your agenda is to be as neutral as possible. But yeah, everyone's capable of bias, either intentional, willful bias. Ooh, we got some dark oak over here. This might be exactly what we need for the roof, or for the bit next to it. Especially fun when you go back to Roman history. Some of the historians straight up admit they embellish stories to make them more interesting. It's really funny. I've heard anecdotes like that before as well. Yeah. Oh, these two are just going to look great side by side. I think I might make the roof out of this material for that bit. And then do that. Gosh, look at my inventory. Nothing wrong with inventory management in this game, is there? Nothing wrong at all. I think language also plays in a part of it, like translation and learning things in different cultures may affect someone's perceived history. Yep, totally. Totally, language plays a role too. I wrote a script the other day for a video that's going to come out on Xisuma Says, and I just kind of realised that the main term of the video is like a gendered term, and I find that super interesting. How, like, it just shapes so subtly how you think about the world through the language that you use, and you might not like it. It's a perfectly innocent little saying, but it was like a completely and utterly gendered term, and yeah, it's just, I think it's important to be aware of stuff like that, just so you can think about it whenever you encounter it, and make your own mind up of like what it means to you. I remember a bit in Horrible Histories where Vikings kept telling this monk to exaggerate stuff about themselves. I've never read those Horrible History books. I know of them. I know exactly what they are. Yeah, I think they're quite big here in the UK. Let's go ahead. Oh, I really need to sort this inventory out, don't I? We just got junk boxes here. It's like, just drop something off if you're not using it. Make your life easier. So as well as that, I want to grab some spruce wood, like planks and slabs and stuff like that. Okay, stairs, maybe not, but we'll grab a bunch of this, make a bench over there. Vexico Official, thank you ever so much for 3 months of support. We got Lunar Econite here for 10 months. Hi X, interesting subject. Thanks for keeping us entertained and as well informed. Thank you, I appreciate it. We got Carmex9248 here for 7 months. Chimpo here for 7. I wanted to let everyone know to have a fantastic day/night. That's a nice message. Skylar Doe says, oh wait, we read that one. It sounds like a machine gun. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Look at what we're doing here. We're doing some building on the fly. That's not like me, is it? I like it. It's been an opportunity just to do things a little different around here, you know. And now we're capable of making... Feels like I've just like emptied my inventory a bunch, but it's still, I don't know, it also feels like it just managed to get more Thor. Like what? I've only got a few empty spaces. I've got 2 lots of ender pearls though. That's a bit silly, isn't it? Right, I'll let you know, more mud. We're not using those blocks. We are using mangrove wood at the moment. Let's make this then. About the flood myths, there's a video by Atlas Pro that talk about the veracity of these beliefs. The name is there any truth to the flood myth? Yeah, I'm definitely going to go look into that because, you know, again, like the narrativized nature of things is like, okay, so he's got this evidence, but like, what if someone out there is capable of refuting that evidence and going, I have an alternative explanation, right? It's entirely possible. Assume you shouldn't get rid of the skulk on the ground, it spreads a lot and can destroy some builds. I am not in the process of getting rid of any. Alright, I just put away some scaffold, that's what I came back for. WTP, thank you for the Prime. Pulse, 53 months, incredible. Thank you so much for your support, peeps. I appreciate it, of course. I have a question, Will Xisuma says. Cleopatra, that's, I mean, that's sort of a question, I guess. I wouldn't say I like it when science and religion always fight. Kent, Honvid, and Professor Dave explain, argument on evolution. I don't like to see conflict and fight. Like, you know, like if these things contrast and conflict, can't we find ways to like coexist? Is kind of like my thinking on that sort of stuff. Should we go with this? This feels kind of cool. Like, we're doing what we're doing there, right? And we'll do it there again, but we got some over here too. Something like that. That was a really eloquent sentence, wasn't it? What's going on there? Impulse, it's just your camera, no game. Not that I'm mad, I don't know. Let's go up to this level. Do all of that. Place some glow liking to avoid mob spawning. That'll be something I do at a later date, because I'm just juggling quite a few things here and materials, so like we'll do a pass later on, I guess. Yeah, so now that we've reached that height, I feel like here's where it gets filled in, and then we start again. Maybe with a gap. And then maybe measure how many blocks this is. Oh look, it actually goes down to there. Like, that might look even cooler. Cooler? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. We'll go with that. You know, don't worry about where it ends up. We'll figure it out. That's another problem. I think something that helps with building a lot is learning to let go of those like repeating patterns and having things neatly line up. Because it feels to me like there's something that holds you back a lot when you start trying to count all those lines. Alright, wow, that's a lot of slabs. Either science or religion can really explain the origins of the fundamental forces of the universe in a way that's 100% reassuring. So I think it's good to stay respectful and just listen to all the different perspectives, says Canon Paul Conroy. Yeah, I like that take. What I would argue though is I feel like science has a better way of approaching those things. I think religion appeals more to like the spiritual side of all of that. And, you know, it's weird because I don't really consider myself a spiritual person. Yeah, I am, like, deeply fascinated and enamored by the world around us, the beauty of nature, like, all these different things about it. But for me, like, religion has never really spoken to me on that level, whereas science has. Like, science offers more to me spiritually. Which might sound weird, but like I can't explain that. That just is what it is. You know, like, as people, we all have our different lives, our different experiences. Like, we should find ways to coexist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the next one is the last one. As a scientist from a fundamentalist Christian background, I find this topic very interesting. It's always this interplay of the things we can physically see and the things we can't ever explain by sight. Lots to learn no matter where you turn. Yeah, I like that. I like that. And I think if you're a person of like science like I am, it can be like really easy to like not listen to religious people sometimes. And there's a lot you can learn from people who have different perspectives from you. Let's see. What do I want to do here? Because that looks a little bit awkward, doesn't it? Oh, I tell you what. We'll just use a stair block here. Right, again, that whole neatness thing. Oh, it doesn't quite align. It doesn't take up the full block. Well, give it a little bit of character. You know, maybe we end up just redesigning this base bit right here anyway and make it work for us. Science and faith have tons of things in common. Some people believe in science in the same way others believe in God. It's a fascinating thing seeing how people find their own view on the workings of the world. Izzy Wanderer, I like what you're saying, but I'm going to pick it apart a little bit. Belief is a word in language, and we mentioned earlier how language can shape how you think, your perspectives, things like that. Belief is a word that I will used to use more, and I'm trying not to use as much, especially when it comes to talking about science, because I think a little bit of a misunderstanding is that science is actually trying to do things not based on belief or faith, but to create recreatable and provable methods to determine things, right? So like, science can be done in many different ways, but good science shouldn't have belief involved. A scientist shouldn't believe this is the thing, right? It's about proving it, like indifferently from your human desire for belief or whatever it is, right? So I like to think in terms of like do you believe that 2 + 2 = 4, or is it a certainty that 2 + 2 = 4, right? They're two different things, and I think language is the barrier there. Like, it's very easy to use the word belief, but it might not be like actually what you're trying to express sometimes. So yeah, it's something I've been trying to do, is like just take note of when I say belief about stuff and try and separate that a little bit. Because one of the things that appeals to me about science is that it's not about what I believe, right? Like, if I believe that E = mc³, right? My belief doesn't interact with reality. It's E = mc², right? Like, so I feel like belief is a different thing. There we go. That's actually the last bit right there. So we'll find a way to tie this up. It's important to keep in mind that science itself is always incomplete because it's progress. There are never absolute truths that need believing in. Yeah. You know, science is a constant state of sort of learning and evolving. Again, one of the things I really like about it. And, you know, like, science can be done poorly, it can be done wrong. You know, there's a method, there's a way of working to do good science, but, you know, some people can get it wrong, and it can give, like, I think sometimes the wrong impression of what science is if it's done poorly. Like, you probably hear, like, oh, this study showed that, and the way studies can be presented sometimes, and the way the information is assembled from them, like, can be a bit dubious. Does that actually look good? I kind of feel like maybe that doesn't look so good. I think I can remedy this quite easy. I think it just doesn't need to be this tall, basically. So let's just go with that. And then maybe like put a trapdoor there. Hey, Valex is in the house. It's the one, the only May School. 92 months. I've got 8 months now to figure out what on earth I'm going to do for 100. I'm still in the dark on that one. Thank you, May School. Appreciate it. I imagine I'll get Puka to make like a special emote or something. Like the 100 Club. You know? Thank you for all you do, my dude. I was looking up Mastodon earlier, by the way, and I've got a feeling, I don't know, like there was some confusing stuff about it, but I've got a feeling it's not something we might end up using. Daddy Beer, 14 months, glad to catch a stream. Glad to have you with us, my dude. Okay, put that there. That's what I was going to do, right? Mastodon the band. No, Mastodon the social media platform. Like, I listened to people explain it today. Like, I watched a handful of videos, and everyone was, like, saying, this bit is, like, complicated. This bit is confusing. And then when they explained it, I was like, I'm still confused. It just kind of leaves me with some questions. The idea is that it's federalized or decentralized. Like, you can create your own server and host yourself like you would host yourself a Twitter account, right? And then that allows you to go to other servers and have your account interact with theirs. But you do need a server to begin with. So if you wanted to join the platform and connect the different Mastodon places, as I understand it, you have to entrust someone with your details, like you do with, you know, regular sites. We're all used to doing that, right? But yeah, your account has to be held somewhere. And it did make me think, like, okay, so you got like a whole bunch of different servers, and what happens if the one you signed up for, like, it doesn't quite work out? What happens to your account then? And oops, that's the wrong one. So it left me with some questions like that, basically, like, oh, I'm not sure 100% I understand how this works in certain scenarios. So if that's our, like, main entrance, we've got this nice, like, red thing going on the side. This thing will come over and connect to that. We'll recreate that over here twice, and then we build this, like, middle bit up. Let's go ahead and just work on what makes sense at the moment. I thought you meant Mastodon the prehistoric animal. Nah, Mastodon the social media network. So there's like a rush to get away from Twitter. Now's a good time for me to mention it. Oh, you can move your account and it redirects you, says Mayschool. What if someone does something malicious though, or what would be the word? Malfeasant? I don't know, like, you know, accidentally deletes everything. Like, what happens to your account then? That was kind of my concern. Like, it doesn't have to be a malicious thing. It could just be like, oh, that server blew up and there was no backup. Like, what happens then? But anyway, the reason we're talking about Mastodon, this sort of stuff, is because what's going on at Twitter at the moment, like, who knows? Who knows where all of that's heading to, right? And as a result, it's made me think about my social media presence. I set up a mailing list some time ago because I wanted people to be able to get in touch if something happened over at YouTube. Well, something's happening over at Twitter, and I've got a lot of people that follow me there, and that's the way I promote my music blogs. It's a way that I get fan art from people, and if Twitter disappears, then I lose those connections, and I don't want to lose those connections, so I need to think of like, what's my new strategy moving forward, and I've got one, but in the meantime, I do have this mailing list, so I want to promote it and just say, hey, take the time, go over to xisumavoid.com, left-hand side of the screen, just put in your email address. It's right there. You can unsubscribe if you don't like it. You get one email a week. You don't get like an email every time I upload. It's just once a week you get to see what I've done throughout the week. Sometimes with a personalized message, and in light of, you know, Twitter potentially everything there going disastrously, then, you know, if something happens, I've got a way to communicate with you. I can tell you, hey, okay, Twitter's gone, here's the new thing we're doing, right? Twitter won't disappear. Elon isn't just going to pay that much money to close it down. He's not that mad, says V Virtue. Right, he might not want to do that, but he's given his staff an ultimatum, and a lot of them have taken it and gone. And this is after he's laid off lots of employees. I've heard that they fired the team that does security on site, and they actually locked out their own employees from getting on site, right? And the people that run the servers, you know, have left, and like they might not have enough staff to keep it running. Probably not a permanent thing, but like this could really go south. It might end up being that just people just don't want to use Twitter anymore, right? Like it's not necessarily I'm saying that Elon's going to get rid of it or it's going to end 100%, but like, you know, a lot can happen and people have already been leaving the platform en masse, so, you know. Yeah, it might not be Elon's intention to shut down Twitter, but if he makes the service bad enough... Oh! Oh, noises! Hello.
Hi.
Heyo. How's it going?
Hello. It's
Hi.
alright.
You're right there.
I am. I'm gonna go and tell Joey some stuff when Joey logs on.
Oh, okay.
Do we have a portal?
We do. Would you like to know where it is?
I really would.
Just drop down there, follow the shulker boxes next to the glass, and it will lead you to the portal.
You are a superstar. Thank
Cool.
you. We might need your help at some point in the future.
All right, well, let me know. I am streaming, Cleo, and I'm also doing some building with Impulse at the moment. So.
Oh no! Don't worry. This would require organisation.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
There we go. She's going right to the portal. See, these blocks here look kind of cool. Like, you could probably just... Hey, I wonder if Impulse wants to have a chat for a second. Hey, Impulse. Oh, no, it's turned off, isn't it? It's turned off. Bricks look nice next to quartz, my dude. Let's see what he thinks of that. RE Twitter, this is a massive national security risk as well. Yeah, there's a lot of like authoritative stuff that's going on because, you know, like they fired the GDPR compliance people, and then that puts you in a bunch of like hot water too, right? Like, there's just a lot of madness going on over there at the moment, and as you might expect from my take on these kind of things, I'm not someone to come out and tell like what's what of what's going to happen. I'm very much, you know, sit back and watch, but it don't look good, and it's reminded me at least to have my presence online sort of diversified somewhat more, which is why I'm encouraging signing up to the mailing list, because that was my original plan for diversifying, and I haven't really pushed it that much, but now's a good time to. You know, you might get an email from me saying in the future, hey look, you know, the Twitter thing's happened, here's what we're doing next, and then you can unsubscribe later if it's not to your taste. Yeah, Twitter gets a lot of use in the cyber security community, and we've largely started to move off, but it also means it will be harder to track some groups that used to be a bit more public, at least for the next few weeks. Yeah, Twitter has this really strange proportion of interest where like a lot of I don't know, like important big world stuff tends to happen there, like journalism and communities like the cybersecurity people, right, who I happen to follow a little bit here and there. I've always been, oh god, I'm in a hole. Oh no, down in a hole, feeling so low, wiggly head. Oh my god, jeez, it don't look right. It don't look right. Yeah, I'm really interested actually in like cybersecurity and how all that stuff works. What else should I put in it? Do you know what? I'm gonna get rid of this literally in a minute anyway, so might as well do that now. Isn't the how did we do it over here? Yeah, the ones at the end are actually a little different. So we're probably in need of a bit of a inventory cleanup at this point, aren't we? So I think we'll do just a little bit more here and then move on to that. Yeah, a lot of our malware OSINT comes out on Twitter. Because when something like that starts to burn and get free, it's easy for folks to start talking about it on Twitter before other places. I'm not quite sure what you're saying with your message there. I didn't understand it. TikTok is about the only service that moves at the same speed, but people rarely post TikToks about the ransomware that has gotten loose. Right, yeah, well, you know, one of these things I think is, first of all, like, certain platforms tend to attract certain types of culture and whatnot, but sometimes you just need someone who knows how to communicate. Like, you need someone who understands TikTok, maybe, to package that in the right way. Because, you know, like, let's say you don't put music in your video. Maybe there's not even a person's face. Like, there's a lot of faces on TikTok, right? Let's say your product is, like, you're putting, I don't know, like, spec info on the video, and it's like, new ransomware out, make sure to patch your iOS version 14.2 or something. Like, it might just not have the right tone, the pace to, like, connect with people, whereas maybe if you had a personality who people could connect with and who could, like, break it down and communicate it, like, hey, do you use this thing? You really need to know about how you can keep your device safe. Like, don't go into all the jargon language and stuff like that, right? Like, I am purely speculating here as to the state of what it's like on TikTok, but that is just something that I've seen, is that it takes good communicators to communicate things. Often the substance behind it has less weight than the communication of that thing. So, you know, you can have really great information about something that everyone should know, but you could hire the wrong person to explain it and then no one cares, right? I think that's a pretty easy thing to understand. So that's what you've got to kind of like look out for with these things. Is how are you presenting it? Like, how is all of that being done? And maybe you could get more people to care. Because I think like the big thing about security online, cybersecurity, that a lot of people don't get is that it's not about you. It's rarely like, what are you doing? It's what other people are doing that you need to be concerned about. Because when I try and express things that people should be doing with their passwords, like in person, it's often a bit nonchalant and like, oh, that won't be me, I'll be fine, no one knows my password. Like, and the thing that's hard to get across about security in these places is it doesn't really matter what you think or what you're doing. It's about what the people, the other people are doing. And people tend to not see themselves as being targeted, because why would you be? You're just an average normal person, right? Well, the people that get targeted are basically anyone. Like, the malfeasance out there trying to you know, do nefarious things or whatever, get a one-up with some data that they've pinched from you or a password or whatever, like, they're not targeting you because you're you. They're looking for any vulnerability they can find, and when they find that, they want to exploit it. And so good cybersecurity revolves around understanding what they're doing currently and reacting to that. And a lot of people don't understand that. And as a result, a lot of people don't have good password security or good practices for various different things. The framework for understanding this stuff is realizing that they're out there, they're trying to exploit various methods, weaknesses, vulnerabilities, and therefore you need to change your behavior as a result of this, right? Like, here's a little sort of anecdotal story to throw in here. E-waste, right? An old hard disk. You throw it away, it doesn't work anymore. Oh, who would want that? What's on there? Like, oh, you know, I deleted all the pictures or whatever. Any kind of like ignorance there to how this stuff works, and you can be vulnerable, right? Because when you delete things off of a hard drive, you are essentially creating a record of this bit of data here is, you know, no longer being used. It doesn't actually get removed until something else overwrites it, and even then there are methods in which you know, that can then be extracted, that original data. Now, when you get rid of this like imaginary hard drive or whatever, there are still further precautions, like, do you know where it goes when you throw it in the bin? Because e-waste often gets sort through, like people in foreign countries, like poorer foreign countries where all of this waste gets dumped, you know, they're living under the poverty line. They have great incentives to fish out e-waste that potentially has value in there. You might not realize like how much residue data you can leave on a device that can be then reverse engineered against you. So again, it's not what you're doing. It's not like, oh, I'm Mr. Innocent, I don't do anything wrong on my computer. It's like, what's everyone else doing? Have you ever used a credit card on your computer? Do you know if like some cookies from a website were left on there that can be used to get into your account again? So it's about like understanding that when you throw away a hard drive, it goes somewhere, and that might end up in the hands of the wrong people, and they're not targeting you, they're just looking at any old, they'll probably look at hard disk after hard disk and just try and find something they can leverage, right? This is why our family removed our old computer with an axe. What you want to do is probably run some magnets over it and drill some holes into it. Mayschool says, and that's why I still have all my hard drives. Yeah, if you're not using them though, like imagine if you got like your house got pinched or robbed. Encryption is another defense against this, but like if you no longer use it, definitely drill it. Maybe even hold on to it and drill it. Matt Zabu, 46 months. Spooky Dokie, 56. Het Catet with the Prime. Thank you for using the Prime. Just Me 1309, 3 months of support. I think we're all caught up now, so thank you ever so much for your support, peeps. It's appreciated. Let's go ahead and switch to standing mode. Potato Army says, I weekly delete all the cookies. I mean, that might be a great practice. If you're using an SSD, that's probably fine, as I understand it. If you're using a hard drive, deleting them might not actually remove it from the hard drive. Again, like, a lot of this stuff revolves around what's happening out there in the world and you responding to it. If we were incapable of, let's say, lying and stealing, like, we wouldn't need security and encryption, right? Like, that stuff would be redundant. You know, you wouldn't need a lock on your door. So, like, a lot of your behavior is a response to, like, what's happening elsewhere in the world, essentially. That's looking really clean there. I think I just put away all the bricks. Like, let's go grab some more of these. Like, at this level, don't want to accidentally kill one. Definitely want some bricks there. But then, I think you also want something, like, at that level. Maybe that could be, like, a stair block. And then you could have, like, something come down from up above. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, we'll let Impulse work on it. Let's do this thing again. So yeah, that's actually, I think we've made a really nice choice for these materials. They look cool. We've got a ways to go though. We've got a roof to build here. And I, my friends, now I'm standing up. Tunker out. We'll come back to your message in a bit. See a few messages about something like that. Right, I need to nip to the loo. Believe it or not, I'm a human being. Whenever I stand up after sitting down for a while, after I've drunk a cup of tea and drunk loads of water, I need to nip to that loo. The loo's over there, it needs nipping to. Come on now, people. Peeps, hit that follow button while you're waiting around, and check out these cool screenshots from the Let's Play Minecraft Together server. And look at that, I'm back in no time. Did my music come up on the screen? Soulside Eclipse, right? Was it there? Peeps, if you haven't heard of my music, go to Spotify, search for Soulside Eclipse, or Bandcamp. Oh, I didn't know how much I needed to drink some water. Very good. Thank you for the welcome backs in the chat. Thank you for those welcome backs. Right, there's a tiny bit of cold coffee there. I'm not going to touch that. Let's get back into this. I just hydrated. You should too. That's why there's an emote on the screen. Ooh, right, let's start to build this roof. Roof? That's right. We got. Oh, I am. Oh yeah, right. We need more of that, and we need saplings. Ooh, that might be tricky. Is it me or is the music not playing? The music is playing. It's just soothingly calm and ethereal and gentle. Yeah, I'm not seeing any dark oak saplings. I wonder if there's any more lying around. Like, I don't think Force's Tree Farm does dark oak. Check some of these boxes. I doubt there'll be any. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know where to go to get some either. Like, there's probably a biome out there. In the second chest you opened, really? What, this one over here? Or the barrel? Are we saying? Hang on, let's double check then, because I can be a wally. No dark oak saplings there, but I also opened that one. Okay, Lucro, I read that one. Like these are chests, so I'm not seeing it. I think someone might have just said that and been mistaken. Oh, do you know what? Cub's got stuff down here, doesn't he? Ed Network, thank you for 75 months. Appreciate it, my dude. Matt Sabu, thank you for 46 as well. If I didn't read it already, appreciate you. Yeah, and look, Cub's been building with this stuff. Come on, Cub. Where's the dark oak? Okie doke, it ain't no joke. I need that dark oak. Yo, I'm such a rhymer, such a rapper. I'm looking dapper. Oh, don't. Please don't, X. Oh, look. Cub's got some stuff organised. Right, no one else in chat is saying something along the lines of, there it is, like you missed it again, so I'm assuming that one person was mistaken. Oh, I know where this goes. I was thinking like, oh, secret base. Cub, secret base. Oh wait, no, this isn't a secret base. Well, no, with no one answering me, I'm a little concerned. Might have to just go look this up on Chunk Base, right? Ooh, let's have a look. I think a baby can still get to it there. But yeah, right, okay. You'll have to stare at my inventory screen for a minute now. Not great. Let's close that. Now I'm typing things, am I? Carpet has magma, someone says. Oh yeah, but you can't walk onto it. Right, I got a map. What's the name of the biome? Dark Forest, right? Ooh, there's a patch up here. I see. It's a bit of a ways. It won't be too bad. But only with 10 rockets, I might not make it back. Isn't Pixel's base nearby for Dark Oak saplings? I mean, I imagine he's got some and I could probably pinch some, but I think I'm just going to head over to a biome and chop some down. Rockets. Here we go. Wow, I think you're the one with problems, says Rednick. Me? With problems? What are we saying? Sausage has the best wood on the server. Really? How do you determine that? Okay, just over this hill there should be some dark oak. Because I'm magic, right? As we duck down here, we're going to see dark oak, right? Oh, I'm magic! Oh, and it's next to someone's base. Okay. Where else in the world is some? I mean, maybe I can just pinch enough to get some saplings, right? Ooh, it is quite a long way to get the next patch. But let's see if there's a nice spot just to pinch one or two over here. Yeah, I think look, I could knock this one down and you'd. The leaves are different here. It's like there's little bean things growing. Yeah, if we get just 4 saplings from this, that'll be fine. Just the one tree, 4 saplings, and off we go. Just buy from the wood shop. You know, I haven't brought from a single shop. I didn't really know there were any shops I could go to. Looks like it's connected over here. Which we don't want, because then they don't decay. Yeah, now they'll start decaying. Unless they're connected on the other side. I haven't got one sapling. That's a lie, I got one sapling. Literally just got one. Oh, right, the Qatar World Cup. Yeah, I am not watching the Qatar World Cup. I mean, I imagine I might end up watching a game or two if, like, a friend invites me or if I'm in family. But I'm not going to go out my way to watch it. I'm not trying to make, like, a big statement with that or anything. Either it just... There's a lot of dubious stuff around this World Cup. It rubs me the wrong way. I just don't really feel like participating in that much, you know? So, yeah, probably not gonna bother much with it. Ever tried doing a dark oak farm? No. No, I don't think I've ever automated one of these. I am annoyed that I have not got 4 saplings. But, you know, we can probably get one if we trim the underside of these, right? Like, no one will ever come out here and notice. We'll get our one more sapling one way or another. I hear some moaning and groaning, just, you know, let me do my thing. There you go, 4 saplings, right? Now, which way... Ah! Which way did we come from? That is really nice. That is a really nice build. This is like purple spruce, and then that is like concrete and wall, I think. It's soft. Quite nice. Oh, and there's like a green little town there too. Very cool. Let's go... Ooh, and then some stuff over here. This is, I think this is where Fwip is, down there. Oh my god, this could be amazing. Or I could die. Ah! I do have my totem in hand. Hermits have really nice voices. I like listening to X while studying, says Digester. Thank you, I appreciate that. It's a nice message. Just out of curiosity, do you use your emails for anything else when we sign up for our mailing list? Nope, you just get the one weekly email. I won't... I mean, they say never, but I doubt I will ever use it for anything else. Like, maybe I'd use it to send out like an emergency message from me, but that's it. You just get the weekly recap. Your emails aren't passed on to anyone else or anything like that. It's all as it should be, right? Like, sometimes I'll have sponsors, you know, like, they'll reach out, they want to make a deal, they ask about, have you got a mailing list? I wouldn't do anything like that. It's not there for that. It's literally there just to send you those, that weekly update. You should start a Hermit podcast, says Burnt Panda. You know, Impulse started a podcast. I'm not going to do a podcast. I've decided that. I've realised as of late there's a lot of stuff that's adjacent to what I do. Like, I can watch YouTube videos and I know how to edit videos and how to record and write, and it's like, oh, I could do that. But like, what I'm missing out on is that you don't have to do everything you could do. And as much as I love podcasts, I don't think I really want to bother. Like, it's just, some people go, oh, you know, your live streams are like podcasts. Why don't you make a podcast? It's like, I'll just keep doing live streams. If you want to enjoy them like they're a podcast, go for it. But like, this is what works, so I'll keep doing this. But yeah, I really liked Impulse's podcast. I listened to one about communication. I thought it was terrific. Really good, valuable little episode there to get into. But like, it takes someone to be like, hey, I want to do the Hermitcraft podcast, and then they've got to take on this responsibility of running it, making it regular, figuring out who's coming on and when, and like, that needs, if that's going to happen, that needs to be someone's passion. It's not my passion. You know, if someone wanted to do it and then they wanted me on, I'd probably go on. But what you'll find is there's no one that wants to actually do that, which is why it doesn't happen. I really like the parenting and ghost stories. What are the ghost stories and the parenting? I don't know what's going on here. Is that Impulse's podcasting? Because I listened to the one episode, you know. The one about communication. Retro Cantor says, these streams are indeed a podcast for me. Awesome. Yeah, so like, I don't need to do anything different, right? Like, just make these what they are. Ashki, thank you ever so much for resubscribing. 13 months right there. Reign of Games has used the old Prime subscription on me. Thank you so much for doing that, peeps. If you did not know, you can get a free subscription with Amazon Prime. With the old Primey Prime. Just going to fill that little gap in, I think. It's crazy. I spent all this time getting all this stone, smelting it all up, and then like, they turned out just to be guidelines. I mean, at least useful guidelines here and there. That we can say. Actually, yeah, I think I might change that bit to the side. Oh, that bit can stay. Yeah, this bit here, actually, maybe just... I'll come back and fill that in properly at another time, right? We've got another noise in the ear. It's Diana Goblin. Thank you so much for using the Prime on me. Appreciate it, my dude. Diana Goblin. I had to read it. I was like, Diane or Diana? I've been watching The Crown, so immediately I think of that. I was commenting on The Crown the other day, just saying like, this season, it's not really, I'm not really feeling it. But now that the story's starting to focus on Diana, as you get further into it, it does pick up a little bit. But I really feel like they're going into like sensitive territory. Maybe not sensitive to me, but like, it's a very, I don't know, that whole piece of history that they're like taking on and dramatizing, it's a whole thing. And there are like all sorts of weird theories and stuff. Like some of the stuff around her gets a bit conspiratorial. There you go. It was Zombie Cleo, the culprit.
Hello, X.
Hi. I could hear some keyboard clacking. Yeah, I thought I'd mention it.
I was just creeping on impulse. You know how it goes. Look, I'm now the law.
You're now the law. You got the badge.
And now you're the law.
The law and the law one. I'm the law. Who's the law? This is actually a gold ingot. I see.
Shh. Secret.
Okay, I won't tell anyone.
Okay. We're not going to tell anybody about the fact that I've got access to.
You might want to talk to Scar.
Badges.
Yeah, because Scar's also the law apparently. So
he is the law, but I'm the lawriest of laws.
You're the lawriest of laws, fake. Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
You're the law. I can never do it. You're the law. He's the law. No, I'm terrible at this.
I'm the law.
The law.
He's the law.
The law. Okay.
The law.
The law.
I also took all the diamonds from our chest because
what?
No.
All
I was
of them?
protecting them.
Oh.
Yeah, because Joey came over.
Ah. Smart
And then
thinking.
he saw the diamond block and went, ooh!
Yeah, definitely smart thinking.
So I'll put them back now. That's
Good
not
stuff.
saying
we
we're
should
not going to
probably
steal
we
them.
should probably store them in like the cobblestone chest or something.
You know what we could do? We could store them in my ender chest.
No, let's go and store them in my ender chest. let me just sort that out. Yep, they're safe in there.
Do you not trust me, X? How dare you?
You are a pirate.
I've only stolen everything I could lay my hands on.
Yeah.
How dare you?
And you're a pirate.
And I'm a pirate. And I'm also going to steal stuff to sell in the secret place.
Wow, you're literally telling me you're going to steal things in between talking
Look,
about
you're
trust.
also a pirate. You understand.
I'm a good pirate, which is an oxymoron, so...
I'm not a good pirate, so...
That's a normal pirate.
I'm a great pirate.
Great pirate.
Okay, I'll see you later.
See
Bye.
you, Cleo. Bye-bye. We were talking about things. What were we talking about? I can't even remember. Can he remember? Oh yeah, the Crown and Diana. Yeah, oh. There we go. Sorry, I had to press a button on my keyboard. Yeah, I just feel like it's gonna venture into territory that might stir up some controversy, but then I'm not even like really paying attention to the news to know if people are reacting to it that way. I'm just very aware of like a lot of what the show is doing at the moment hinges around these personal like conversations, and I may be misremembering, but in the beginning there were a lot more episodes that felt like they were about historic events around the family. Like one of the ones that really stuck in my mind was the landslide where this village in Wales had they were mining coal or something, and like there was a big landslide and it killed a lot of children. And it was so much more about an event that took place than about conversations. And then in like the 4th season, it really started to steer into territory where I was thinking, at first this felt like you were watching a piece of history, and now it's feeling very dramatized and about things that, like, these conversations, how accurate can they be? Like, what are the sources? Like, what's going on here? I did do some research into it. I can't remember quite what I found out, but I think it was sort of saying like a lot of these conversations are probably fabricated. And now season 5 revolves around that so much, it's hard to it's kind of hard to see it any other way, really. It just feels like so much of this must be fabricated. The landslide episode was devastating. Yeah, it was a hard watch, that one. Yeah, it was really something. I think the show like did a fantastic, job with the material, if you want to think of it that way. But so much of that stuff was less about conversations between characters and more about the event, right? And that's easier to understand when they do have to create dialogue. But now it's about like the inner workings of characters and their personal lives, and I don't know, it just feels a bit like the show's sort of changed its trajectory a bit, and I don't know how I feel about it. Which show are we talking about? The Crown. The 5th season just started recently. Or, these days it's like they just give you all the episodes in one go, right? Okay, just looking at the design again. Oops. Hey, Wax Fraud, thank you ever so much for a raid. We've got some raiders coming over. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. We are playing on the Empire's server. That's right. I'm a hermit playing on a different server. And I'm short. And I've been shrunk. It's all been taking place, I tell you. All been taking place over here. We're doing a little building. It's funny, I logged on today, didn't know what I was going to do in the stream. Talked to Impulse, he's sorting out the villages, and I'm sorting out the aesthetics around them. So, Impulse is also streaming. We've got that going on. Thank you again, Wax Fraud, by the way. And Curls, thank you so much for gifting a sub. I think that's our first gifted sub of the day. Time for some emote on the screen. Binker77, thank you for 8 months. Appreciate you. Randy says, I'm going to be really interested in seeing how The Crown handles next season. Yes, the 6th season is supposed to be the last, right? And I wonder how much, like, where it will end. Like, maybe they even end it with the Queen's death, right? I don't know what their plans are, but they're getting closer and closer to, like, the modern age, and I guess I don't even know what that means. It's just, yeah, they're just kind of, like, getting close to that. Max Fraud there saying thank you for the sub. Awesome, my dude. We always encourage the thanks for the gifting of the subs. You've done more than enough with a raid. We appreciate that. The Cookie Prince, thank you for your Amazon Prime subscription. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. What's your opinion on Andor? Because I'm really liking it, but others are more skeptical. I love it. I really enjoyed Andor a lot. Bit of a slow start, but the thing that's really making it work for me is first of all, like, the insight into how the Empire works, like being inside the Imperial side of things is fascinating. But that guy, yeah, I'm terrible with names and remembering all the bits and bobs, but seeing how, like, the people orchestrating the rebellion are just being compromised is really interesting. And that episode where that main guy, the one who owns the shop, gives that speech is fascinating. It's such a brilliant performance. I'm not sure what its intention was, but to me it gave me this impression of, like, what he was saying could be, like, absolute truth or a complete lie. It was just, his character is fascinating. And I feel like they're holding him in this space where you don't know how much of what he does, like, serves his own interests or that of the rebellion. But I do think the idea is that he will come out as, you know, a good character, if you like, but they're certainly, like, pushing him into questionable territory in a really interesting way. And then some of the action sequences are terrific. Like, there's a lot to like in that show. I think they've done great with it, really. Right, I think what we'll do here is just to start to fill in some space, right, and then go from there. Like, if we do that, this thing can come over here, and then we can figure out the roof from there. Very cool. Olaf Loss, thank you for 18 months. 2 Twitch babies. Hey mate, how you doing on this fine Saturday morning? It's not Saturday here, it's Friday evening here. I'm doing alright. Thanks for asking. I had a good meal, good couple of meals today. Salad in the morning. Big old salad. Was there something special about it? Why do I feel like there's something special about this salad? I'm literally going to open my phone to remind myself. Oh god, I dropped my phone. What was special about this salad? Oh yeah. So like, I'm like a planner with food. Salad in the morning for breakfast. Yeah, I have 2 meals a day, so I don't have, like, a typical breakfast meal. I will just have a massive bowl of food each time. So I had salad for breakfast. You know, after I worked out, like, I don't know, 11, 12 o'clock kind of time. Had salad for breakfast, and what I decided to do to make tomorrow and today's salad a little more interesting, go into Asda. They got these, like, little salady bar areas where you can get, like, pasta salad, and then they do something like a little mix of kale and beans or chickpeas and curry, and they're like little mixers, like you can mix them in to something like a salad. So I thought I'd do that. I thought I'd, you know, let's give that a try, right? That's the block that I want. So yeah, I thought I would do that, which is just a little different. You know, make this meal a little more interesting than usual, is sort of my thinking, right? It sounds terribly boring as I talk about it now. But hey, I'm a foodie, so I'm always interested in my food. Now, for my second meal of the day, which I had before I streamed, I made a tray bake. And every time I make these, they're gorgeous. But I haven't had one in a while, and it was so darn good. Like, since the last time I cooked it, I've like refined, you know, the timings and what ingredients you go in a bit, and I just got it just right today. Maybe it was because it had been a while, but dang, it was really nice. So I make these like curry tray bakes, and what I like about them is they're really just... Oh no, I forgot to come back over. I forgot to come... That one right there. You are my saving grace. No! Epic fail. Dang it. Well, we know where we're going. What's a tray bake? Great question. Bake as in you use it in an oven. Tray as in you put everything in a tray. Mrs. Mama Pants, thank you for gifting a sub to Mugen Lol. Mugen, be sure to say thanks in the chat. And thank you for subscribing yourself, Mrs. Mama Pants. We also got Lil God 196 here with the Prime. Thank you so much. Appreciate the support. So, the tray bake. Of course you ate curry, says Ghosty. I did not eat a curry. I had a tray bake. Let me explain. So a tray bake is like what I had today was potatoes and carrots. You put those in first. They take a little longer to cook. You know, 15 to 20 minutes in the oven. Then I threw in some, is it called mangay tout? You can have that or something similar like sugar snap peas, right? I'm gonna chop this one down here. No one will notice this one either. I had some of that. What else? Fine green beans and a bell pepper. And then a whole bunch of paneer cheese, like a lot of paneer cheese. And then, you know, you put those in for about 10, 12 minutes. And then for the last 5 minutes, I put in a ton of spinach. Loads of spinach. All chopped up, really good. Now the trick is, each time you put in an ingredient, you chuck on some curry powder of some sort as well. And it gives that kind of like curry flavour to everything. So you haven't got like a rich sauce or anything like that, but everything gets this kind of curry flavour. And it's really great. It's really nice. And then I put it in a big bowl and I mix it up with some turmeric yogurt. So you get some Greek yogurt, you throw a little turmeric powder in there, mix it all up so it goes all nice and like yellowy orange. And it is the nicest meal. It's so good. And it's such a simple one to cook. You know, it's such a nice veg meal. Just your potatoes, your carrots, some cheese. All good healthy eating, right? And it's so darn tasty. And the trick is that turmeric yogurt and a bit of curry powder over the vegetables. And it just tastes so good. Paneer cheese. Am I missing something, says AO. No, paneer is cheese. It's a really weird one. I really like paneer cheese, yet if I were to describe its taste, I'd honestly just say like plain, mild, a bit bland. But I don't know, it's just got something about its texture and the way it... Maybe it's the way it absorbs other flavours or something. It's always really nice. Really nice cheese. So yeah, I made that today. And then tomorrow, guess what? I'm having salad and tray bake again. Because I brought enough to, like, you know, split it into 2 meals. Basically, like, you go to Asda and a lot of packaged up food is, like, made for 2 people. So for me, it's like, I'll buy what I need and then I'll have half today, half tomorrow kind of thing. Paneer makes me think of a cross between tofu and cheese, says Crystally Mercy. I can see why you would think that, but tofu's really crumbly. And paneer is not. Paneer is really solid. But yeah, I can see what you're getting at. Rawson, thank you ever so much for using your Amazon Prime subscription. It is appreciated. I hope you're enjoying the stream. You can use fortune on leaves, I believe, and the wiki confirms their belief. Yep, you can use fortune on leaves. I made a myth-busting video about that years ago. Years ago! What's that meme? So-and-so debunked this years ago. Who is it? Oh, man, I want to remember the meme now. Of all the memes, you know, I don't know, I'm not a meme person, but I know that meme. What's it? Isn't it Marx? Yeah, it's Marx. Marx debunked that years ago. That old meme. And now I've forgotten why we started talking about debunking, so well done me. Is it me or... Oh, I think the height is wrong on this side compared to that side. Let's drop down, right? Swing across. Uh-oh, it's wrong. Am I going to rebuild it? No. It will just remain that way now. We'll have a little imperfection to enjoy. It'll be our little secret. Never heard that meme, says Curls of Doom. Maybe it's an obscure one. I don't know. It's just one that cracked me up. Yeah, I think we're just gonna have the one on this side, and then it's just different because of that. Be our little secret. Now that gives the build character, says Red Brumblad. That's the way to look at it. It gives it character. Of course it does. Unintentional character. So, this next thing, are we going to use spruce again over here? I think we probably are. When will you share your food recipes with us, Slice Bendicus? Okay. We need to have a serious chat now. Okay? About me not sharing my food recipes. Because, you know, I'm a horrible troll. I spend all this time talking about food, you know. You know, I go through every little step. Oh, you know, you put the potatoes and carrots in first, and 15 to 20 minutes for those. Oh, you know, I should be sharing food recipes, and you know, and then you put in the fine green beans, the mango tout, another 15 minutes. Put in the paneer with that, and you sprinkle over some curry powder. I should be sharing the recipe, shouldn't I? And then you have some yogurt that you mix up with turmeric, and you mix it all. I should be sharing these. Oh, I am such a meanie. You know, maybe what I should do next time I talk about the food is I should tell you what to do step by step, you know? Like how I described that that it's a tray bake, so you put the tray in the oven, right? I should tell you that, you know, you mix up the yogurt with the turmeric. I should tell... Hang on a minute. This sounds an awful lot like everything I said a moment ago. Does it not sound like what I said a moment... Oh, I am confused. I am so confused. I think what we'll do now is come across like this. Yeah, that feels right to me. For those of you that need the joke explaining to you, I believe that I just spent the last 10 minutes waffling about what I ate and how I cooked it, telling you the ingredients and the cooking time and the method. I'm not sure that I could have done more to classify it as a recipe. I'm not sure what else do you know why it's not a recipe? Because I forgot that bit where it's like, all your food's in the oven, have a cup of tea. That's it. That's why I'm a filthy liar. Because I didn't tell you I'd have a cup of tea. Oh. How shameful that I could forget such a thing. Right, and post it on a blog, says Night. I might make a cooking with X video one day, but who knows? Who knows? I really like this song, by the way. This one's cool. I don't think they meant this recipe in particular, more like a semi-regular blog thing. Alright. As always, if I make a joke out of your comment, it is not aimed at you. It is not personal. It is an opportunity for us to have fun together. That's all I meant by it. Just a little goof and a gaff, me being silly. Don't think too much of it. Yeah, maybe I'll do that more often in the future. When I talk about food, I'll run you through the recipes a little bit more, right? It's funny because one of my first experiences with talking about food on the internet was criticism of me sharing my recipe. So here's a story. On an old website I used to partake in. This is like pre-MySpace, like pre-social media. This is like the infancy of what would come. Like these small little social networks that no one called that yet, but there were loads of them, but they were like all small and niche, and no one had centralized them or anything. Anyway, so I was partaking in something like that, and I shared my recipe for how I make a salad, and people were like, dude, it's a salad. Like, what are you on about? Now, for me, being a young person who didn't really know how to cook, but my mum used to make me salads, and so I would just sort of copy what she would do. Like, the trick with making the salads was just sort of chopping up the ingredients in the right way and having a good mix of them. So I don't know, like I've been to restaurants and had salads where like they'll do stuff like drizzle oil over it or put croutons in, or you'll have leaves that haven't been chopped up or like giant slices of bell pepper. Like, I like to have everything chopped up so that like when you like chopped up fine, so when you chuck a fork in the mix, like you'll get a bit of everything. If you've got big ingredients, it's a little harder to do that, right? So anyway, like that was the main point of the recipe, was like just make sure you like chop it up fine, right? And that went over people's heads there, you know. Who's to blame? I don't know. Maybe it's not even a big deal. I've had people ask me how they make them, says Octography, yeah. I don't know, my salads are kind of epic, despite not requiring any fancy ingredients or techniques. But we just talked about technique. Like, for me, what makes my salads work for me is that I chop up the ingredients relatively fine. And then I do think ingredients are important, actually. The right combination makes a really good salad. Like a little bit of mayo sometimes really goes nice in a salad, depending on the ingredients. There's lots of combinations and things that work well together. Like, I like an egg salad. Chop up some pickled eggs, mix those in. Sometimes you have tuna salad, but like tuna and egg don't always go together too well, right? Whereas tuna and mayo, oh, in a salad they go really good. Ooh, this looks really nice from down here. A pleasant, unexpected little part of what we're doing here. I feel like this is basically a wall at this point, and that these cows like need to be moved or sorted out or something. Maybe we can even focus on the inside area a little bit. Yeah, we've got to suss out this top bit here. Oh, I've got a bit more of that beam to build. I've totally forgotten what I was doing because I was talking so much. Siniska, thank you for 3 months. Oxium, thank you for your Prime. Rawsome with the Prime. LilGod196. I think I read those ones, but I'll read them again. Oh, I see what's going on here. Are we going to like double up there? Do we double up on this side? Yeah, it's actually already doubled up. It's just one lower. So we also need this. Like that. And then I don't know what to put on top. I'm kind of thinking I might use some dark oak wood. Sometimes when you look like this, it's hard to like get your mind's eye to put the material in place. But I think I know what to do. And part of that is going to involve slimming this inventory down again. Like, what is going on here? There is a lot of, like, even some random stuff, right? I could eat those. I need to finish that off. I love chickpea salad, says Durs No Blin. Well, tomorrow I'm having my salad with curried chickpeas. It's going to be like a... I don't know if that's going to work well or not, but I'll find out. I'm going to have it with some curried chickpeas, because that was what was on offer at Asda. I was like, give it a try, give it a try. Usually extremes are after my dinner, so even with him waffling about food, I won't get hungry again, with a few exceptions. I've noticed as of late, when I finish my morning workout, the other day I had this crazy day where I hit 10,000 steps before I even got a chance to eat. I noticed I actually feel really like content and settled. But that might be because I know I'm about to eat. But I almost feel like I'm in the perfect mood to just go a few more hours without eating. And I might give that a try at some point or other. But every time, as of late, after I eat, the period between meal 1 and 2 is the most unsettled. Once I've had my second meal, I'm great, like, again. I don't know if it's psychological or physical. It might even just be a mix of both. But it feels like something's going on there. Because... oh, do you know what? We should make that out of spruce, actually. That would be a nice little contrast to have. It might just be something psychological about knowing there's another meal coming or something like that. Because I rarely feel full after I've eaten. So if I know that's the last meal for the day, maybe my mind just moves on. If I know that there's more on the way, maybe I start to think about it. But yeah, after my tray bake, I was like, oh, that was so good. I wish that were bigger. I need to make a bigger tray bake next time, you know. That might be intermittent fasting. Skip breakfast and only eat lunch and dinner. Essentially have 16 hours for burning fat, says Cannonball Conroy. Yeah, that's what I do. That's what got me onto it, intermittent fasting. It's probably more like an 18-hour window for me. Like, it's 4 to 5 hours between meals. So So yeah, I do intermittent fasting. I really like it. But I don't know, I get this feeling like maybe I could go even further after that first meal. But I tend to not like want to push in that direction. I think some of it is like having lifted weights for so long as well. I think in terms of like food is fuel for muscle, you know, get all that protein in and whatnot. And I know people do it differently, and I think maybe I just need to like think differently and just try differently. Because there's this whole thing of like you need to like eat after you've eaten to make the gains, that kind of thing, right? I don't know how truthful it is. Some of it seems to be backed by science, maybe some of it not so much. I'm so used to 2 meals a day that every time I'm in the office and have to eat lunch, it just feels weird. Lunch somehow doesn't fit into the routine anymore, says Carls. Oh, maybe just try not having it then. See, I would be better with... I like it when the meals are closer together. So I wouldn't want to eat like breakfast and dinner. It would be like breakfast and lunch or lunch and dinner for me. Weren't some of these like missing? Oh, look at that. Wait, was that me? I think Impulse has taken those out. And there were definitely like some other bits that were missing a minute ago. I reckon that's Impulse still working on them. Pro tip, aim at the block you're going to place. Huh! And then you'll have no problems. Yeah, so now this thing is like more attached to what we're currently building. That's interesting. Right, I think if we just do this, I think we're onto a winner. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll build this bit up and then that'll be the end of it, essentially. Like that, right? All the way across. Cool. Let's now get rid of these blocks. Are the random drops in the lightness of wood a texture feature or a bug? I don't know what they are. They're just there. It's just a thing. Oops, wrong block. No, that's wrong. It's like that. There we go. So they only had 2 between. Let's get rid of all this over here too. I love the acacia pipes that are being used around the build. Yeah, I love them too. I feel like we could have built more, but like they're sort of a bit tedious to build. It's there's so much to be built here at the moment that like you kind of want to focus on the main architecture, and maybe we're missing out on doing a little bit more of that kind of stuff. Ah, how do I keep using the wrong blocks here? I thought I selected the slab. Wait, those are the planks. Getting very confused here. So slabs across the top, and then at this level it's like that, and then we have one of these again, and we're on to the next bit. To be fair though, this like block to block shading is really quite nice though. X, what do you think the meaning of life is in general? Do we live just to live? SallyAnn123, thank you for 84 months. Appreciate it. Evil X right there. Thank you for your continued support over the many years. I think the meaning of life is to basically create your own meaning. Like to find what fulfills you, what makes you feel good at the end of the day, and to pursue that. I don't think there is actually like an inherent answer or reason for all of this. But you don't have to, that doesn't have to turn your mind to something nihilistic and awful. Oh god, there's no meaning. You know? You can find positives in that. Here's an opportunity to create meaning. We live to vibe, says Gay Jesus. I like that. We live to vibe. Yeah, you know, have a good time while you're here. It may sound a bit like just simple and easy to think like that, but I think it's good. Put your own meaning into things, right? I think meaning is a human emotion, and human emotions are not truths. Emotions I would consider to be sort of byproduct of evolution, a system of getting us to act and behave in certain ways in response to like what's going on around us. And then now that we're out of the environment that gave us that, everything can become so abstract and obscure, but we can keep it simple too. Right, I need a reminder to come back over here and check up on these decaying leaves to pick up saplings, right? Got to keep on top of that this time. What's your opinion on Stoicism? I'm really quite into Stoicism whenever I come across it. I don't think I'd be good at describing exactly what it is. But it's kind of like I don't know how to describe it. Like a rational way of taking what's going on around you and like working it to your strength or advantage. Like, oh, someone's moved. Huh. Oh, and there's no sticks. Hey, we're using slabs and those. We'll take those. Well, on that note, I'll make some sticks with this. Can someone define Stoicism? See, I have like, you know, listened to a lot about it, and then time goes by and it's like it becomes fuzzy in my head. Honestly, the meaning of life probably depends on whether there's intelligent design or not. If there isn't, then assume and make your own meaning is probably correct. However, if there is something bigger out there, maybe something more preordained for your life, if the designer has intent for you, it's hard to know. Yeah, if there was a designer, then I could see how that logic could make sense. But when you think of the old question of like, well, who designed the designer, right? Does the designer have the authority of meaning? Do they have meaning? Is meaning actually there in that environment? Like, what if the creator doesn't have meaning? I guess it comes down to like, here we are in an environment, we create things, we understand what creation is. But if we're created by something, I mean, we can create things, right? So like, who created the creator is kind of what my mind goes to when you ask that sort of question. Right, I'm not going to build another one. We'll just, I think we'll just slab it in. Like, we'll do that, and then just have a bit of this. Cool. Now, what do I want to do for this middle bit? We're going to repeat this bit over on the other side, but then for the middle, I think we're looking at... I kind of like the idea of using the red again, but like, we'd make the entrance like really narrow if we put it in there. I think I might just put down a few blocks to see what it looks like. You know, give it a try kind of thing. I've already got what I want right here. X, did you know there are a lot of Minecraft recipes? Really? A lot of them? I thought there was only quite a few Minecraft recipes. I didn't know there was a lot. Someone else here disagrees. They say there's a crazy amount of Whoa. Is there a crazy amount of Minecraft recipes? There's a handful? A handful of recipes. Yeah. So much disagreement on how many recipes there are. Did you know that? Wait, where was... Oh, there it is. Now I see it. I have to like lean in and look at the screen. I'm like, where is this thing? Okay. This might look super cool if we do it right. I'm just going to thinking of like how to make this look interesting. So it comes a bit low again here. The ceiling actually kind of looks kind of cool from in here too. Dang. Impulse is like turning the corner with them because there's the pipe in the way. What he's got going on here is quite intense, I'm noticing. Quite intense. We'll hopefully have a little bit of time just to help Impulse out with some of this, you know. If you count all the rocket recipes, there's a gazillion. That is true. That is a very good point. So if we do that, and then do something that doesn't quite correlate to everything else, I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, then here, then another 3, 1, 2, 3, so there. And then through the middle. I kind of tempted to do spruce, but I think dark oak slabs will do it. Yeah, that's real nice. Real nice. We are really getting into this build now, and I have done it all just on the fly. Now, I'm not gonna make out that it's like a work of art and that the shape is amazing. We've seen some incredible builds on this server, but the act of doing things on the fly and being satisfied with the end result is important. That is important. And it's got a nice feeling. It's got a nice feeling. Maybe somewhere around here you could have like a little pillar too. Just in the middle of the room. Maybe not actually, I don't know. It kind of breaks up the line of sight with the villagers, but we can... Oh, and I've done it wonky. I've done a wonky! Oh, not again! X goes wonky. Not again, you say. Yeah, I actually don't think that works. I think, although it feels like it needs a pillar, just leave it open. Ah! Pirate man. Hawkley, thank you for the nice message. What I will say about having energy towards the end of the stream is it really does depend. Like, it can be different on different days. I have certainly streamed and lost energy along the way. The trick really is to, I think, just to pace how you talk. Like, it took me quite some time to be a little more comfortable with moments of silence. Oh, I've got a big notification. Saplings, wee woo! Wee woo, wee woo! I'm on it! I'm on it! Like Scotch bonnet! Or whatever that thing in the song. Oh, I'm too late. Oh no! I'm on time. I got 8 saplings. Woo! Thank you for the reminder. Really appreciate it. That's awesome. As is the build that we are creating. It is starting to look fantastical. It is looking fantastical. Yeah, the roof that we got here might like extend under there a fair ways. I don't really know where it needs to end yet, so at least it gets to here for now, right? And then all of this has got to go away. It's got to go away. Stoicism, a school of philosophy during the Roman Empire that emphasized reason as means of understanding the natural state of things, or logos, and as a mean of freeing oneself from emotional distress. Wow, that's a great description. Yeah, having logic and like rationality at the center of things. So like you go through something like devastating that's emotional, but like to be able to identify that emotion plays a big role in that, and then being able to you know, use logic to help yourself through it. That's really good. Okie dokie then. 1, 2, 3, like that. And then 1, 2, 3, and that would be the end of it, wouldn't it? Let's go get ourselves some slabs. X, I recently researched about who my ancestors were, and I found them, and I'm very happy when I found them. Oh, glad to hear it. That's awesome. Do you actually, like, do you mean find as in found the people and met them, or like figured out who they were and, you know, they're your ancestors, they're from the past? Will the whole tower building thing have the same kind of theme, or will there be a mishmash of lots of different styles as people decorate their own part? Well, I would just, what do you see right now? It's a mishmash already, right? It's already a mishmash. How many of those do we want? That's probably more than enough. Carl Doom says ancestry researching is super interesting. I've not really thought about doing it. I know that, like, obviously, like, DNA at one point in time wasn't evidence of anything, right? Like, it was a new thing that came along and changed how evidence and court proceedings would work because of DNA evidence. And then, like, the ability to, I don't know, what's the right terminology, right? Like, read your DNA or whatever comes down, it becomes more accessible. Then you get all these 23andMe popping up, these services, which, by the way, if you don't know, it's worth thinking about. But, like, the business model of such services is that they sell your genetic data. Who they sell it to, you need to look into that for yourself. The whole thing is a bit dubious for me, which is one of the reasons I haven't done something like 23andMe, because I'm not just getting information from them. There's a reason it's cheap. It's because they sell the data on. That's part of their business model. But, with those databases now, these growing databases of people who have given over their genetic information, they've been able to find, like, serial killers and stuff who committed crimes a long time ago, because there's now a bigger genetic map available and it allows you to tie people together. Absolutely fascinating that can happen. The march of, like, technology and progress is just, giving us so many tools to increase the productivity, the quality of life, like, so many things about it. It's fascinating. Sequence your DNA. That's the one. Sequence, isn't it? Sequence is the term, yeah. Black Mass is a good movie for crime stuff if you're interested, says Jaden Depp. Isn't that a Johnny Depp? Hey, there's a name connection there. I think I may or may not have seen that. Johnny Depp has had some great movies here and there. I can't remember if I saw that one or not. The fact that maybe I don't remember is maybe a bit of an indicator that I haven't. I don't know. Yeah, that's a Johnny Depp movie, right? Looks like that's that. And we are very close to finishing this thing. Oh yeah. Keep on rolling, baby. You know what time it is. Wow, that's kind of great. That's kind of great. Definitely needs a little spark with some details here and there. Maybe some buttons on the outside walls, but there you go. That is the humble little entrance to this area from this side. Nice combination of blocks, really, these two. And the inside just looks really cool as well. Really good. I think we might see if we can get a hold of Impulse here. Oh, and I want to patch up these ceiling bits, right? Because that's how they were. Beautiful. Dang, we did good. Gonna turn that on.
Hello?
Oh! I was just typing your name.
My chat told me that you wanted to talk to me.
Yeah. I just wanted to see how it's going. Like, you've really had a grind on here to move these guys.
Yeah, it's slow going. It's slow going, but I think the design works. The XP flows. My chat said they don't think the zombies are gonna get in here.
They might not try and pathfind, yeah. I mean, like...
Yeah, I mean, it's magma blocks too, so they probably wouldn't want to go on those anyway.
Well, I think they see carpet as sort of like a full block, don't they? So...
Right. Yeah, they I don't think they will.
My worry would be that they
okay.
decide to jump on the iron trapdoor. But, I mean, if
Yeah.
that happens, you can just bring... In fact, you could probably just bring them over if you want to be paranoid, but the bricks here probably be brought
Yeah,
forward.
I think it's okay. We'll find out. Like, I'm kind of curious now. I'm just
Yeah.
curious at this point. And if they convert, they convert. We'll come in with some golden apples and stuff, and they'll get
Switch
even
them
lower
back, get
prices
the
anyway.
discounts. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
exactly.
great way to make a bad situation a good one, right?
Yep.
So, I guess you're now, like, turning the corner to avoid that pipe.
Yeah, kind of. And I was gonna go straight back after that, but
Nice.
yeah, I think it'll work. I was just trying to do this, but I got a meal heating up. I gotta go tend to right now. So.
Oh, okay. I see. Well, I'm gonna be wrapping up my stream too, so I think I might just do like a little bit of tidying up round here.
All right.
And then
Yeah.
clock
I'm gonna
off,
be
but
done in just a few minutes. So.
What do you think of the
yeah.
aesthetic up above?
It's looking good.
It's cool,
It's
isn't it?
I didn't see it from the outside, but
It's nice. It's
oh,
humble,
Yeah.
but like it's a really
yeah, it
nice
totally
mixed
works.
mash of colours. So now we got the front of this place looking pretty cool.
Yes. I'm trying not to look around too much because there's a lot of spoilers, but
Oh,
yeah, it's looking
you know,
fantastic.
spoil my stuff. Go for it. I don't mind.
All right.
All right, Impulse. I'll let
Cool,
you.
man.
I'll let you
All
finish
right.
what you're doing.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Honey in front of the carpet so that zombies can't jump. Maybe. That could be a thing. Yeah, as I said, like, I've got some boxes over here, so let's go ahead and tidy up my inventory quickly. Like, what can I actually put in here? Well, tidy up a bit of that glass while we have a chat here. But I also need to wrap things up somewhat. Is there anything else I can actually put in here? I think I'm going to need yet another shulker box. Crazy. Dang! I really have just got too much stuff. See, I keep putting things in shulker boxes like that just because at the moment I'm not sure like where I'm finishing building this thing, building that thing. You know, it's like everything's like a bit of a build palette in those boxes. Okay, so let's take that. Come over here, get some wood. He ignored my other question again, says Lucaro. I did ignore it, Lucaro. I was not chatting with Impulse. I was looking at your chat messages and going, I have now read that message. I will ignore it just to spite you. And I've got the perfect excuse. I can be like, oh, I was just chatting with Impulse. That's what I was doing. How could I possibly read every message in chat? You know? How could I possibly read all those messages? How could I, Lucro? Explain, please. Right, I'm messing with you. Yeah, I was just looking at this glass and thinking we can tidy this up a bit now, you know. I think all of the there was a lot of new villagers that arrived. I think they're all in minecarts, except for these ones. These ones over here are trapped, right? I wonder if these are the new ones that popped up. You are a master. That's. I was like, where's the bar? Oh wow, Impulse is thinking like we need. Oh wait, no, someone's already traded with loads of these. I added 3 when we only had 1. There's definitely even more now. We've got a couple of novices. Okay, these ones are probably already here. Like the Fletcher might be new. I'm not entirely sure. I imagine some of you who are watching both streams probably know what's what. Lucro says, who's betting he won't read that one either? I told you, I'm ignoring your messages. Jeez. Could I spell it out anymore? And by ignoring, I mean reading the one that you just wrote. Anyway. Oh yeah, there's also like the water stream that brings them up here. I don't know like what will become of that. Maybe it gets shut down at some point. So yeah, a little bit more room now. I noticed Impulse was like wiggling around these chests. They're kind of a bit of a pain, really, where they are. Our inventory is somewhat better. I just need those chests. There it is. Let's go ahead and just put them over here. There's even a shovel in there. Yeah, I like to arrange things so all your items are in a lump when you do this. See, now it's a bit more out of the way, right? Wow, so many axes. What on earth could we do with all of those? Law buzz? I don't get the pun there. Not quite sure what that one's about. Did I put a chest? Ah, that makes sense. I put that in there. Cool. Right, that moved those out of the way a bit, and now I think it's a lot cleaner to work with in here. We could remove a lot more of this glass possibly, but you do want to keep them. You do want to keep them sort of safe, right? Like zombies can waltz back in here, so we do need that original kind of entrance that we had. So I'll probably leave Impulse a message and just say, don't forget, yeah. Although, if you think about it, like, maybe not because... Oh, there's a rail on the other side. Maybe not because, like, these ones are already protected from zombie villagers, so really it's about something escaping from here. Right, and now you got that little weird way of getting in and out again. Hey, look. While he's standing right here, right now, I'm going to get my thumbnail. Impulse, your clickbait. Why can't I... Why is Impulse's name still there? Oh, well. You're officially clickbait. Alright, there we go. I got my thumbnail sorted out. Yeah, that's the end of the stream, isn't it? We're all caught up on noises in the ear, so massive thank you everyone for tuning in today. I need to go rest my voice, do a little bit of cleaning, and then hop back on here in a little while. So, where am I going to send you to? Let's find out who's streaming. Is anyone else on here? I know Impulse is going to be wrapping his up. I don't think anyone else is on here. We'll go stream a random Minecraft channel today, alright? So stick around if you want to support a small streamer. I go pick out someone with not a lot of viewers. And, okay, we'll go with this one today. Just picking out a random channel. Right, there we go. That's it. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, wait. Chat is telling me Smallish Beans is streaming from the server. And Smager. Hang on, I found Smager, but not Smallest Beans. Okay, wait, how do I find Smallish Beans? I can't find them. Do they have a different name? Wow, the end of the stream is dragging on now. Oh, YouTube. Yeah, that's how Twitch works, isn't it? All right, we'll just go raid this person. Okay. See you all later. Take care. Bye-bye.